Greetings everyone. By the time you watch this video, maybe Morocco will have played the semi-finals in the World Cup in Qatar. We need just to clarify one thing so that we are not misunderstood out there. Some of us who are not supporting Morocco. Morocco is an African country. We need to underline this. It's an African country. It is in Africa. And there's no question about that. Morocco is located in North Africa. Morocco, Libya, Algeria, Tunisia, Egypt. They constitute what we call North Africa. They are all African countries, including Morocco. And some of us who are not supporting Morocco never suggested that Morocco is not an African country. It is an African country. But here is a problem, which we explained in the previous video. But we'll re-explain it again, so that when people celebrate, if it beats France in the semi-finals, like I'm saying, by the time you watch this video, you might have played the semi-finals in Qatar. And then maybe go on and win the World Cup, which some of us will not celebrate even if it wins the World Cup. In 1884, the Berlin Conference decided on what today we call our borders. They partitioned Africa amongst themselves. We waged a struggle against colonialism. In 1963, on the 25th of May, the Organization of African Unity was established. One of the things that it said was that we needed to respect the colonial boundaries as they existed. Something which, of course, some known as the emerging states in Africa are now challenging, but it's a debate for another day. We've discussed, I think, in previous videos about Ntwagazi, about Biafra, about Barroso-land and others. But it's a debate for another day. But this is what the African leaders said. And they said that none of the African countries should seek to redraw boundaries, or in any case invade or occupy another territory other than the territory that existed at the time of the establishment of the Organization of African Unity. At the time, many countries in Africa were under colonialism. Western Sahara was under the occupation of Spain, right? It was only 1975 that Spain withdrew from Western Sahara. Instead of the people of Western Sahara gaining independence, like what Mozambique did in 1975, like what Angola did in 1975, and other countries before 1975, and of course us, Zimbabwe later, Namibia, South Africa. Morocco occupied Western Sahara. So we have no issues disputing, or we are not questioning Morocco's geographical location to say it is not, to an extent that others then think that we are saying it is not an African country. No, it's in Africa. When Morocco occupied Western Sahara, negotiations by the Organization of African Unity happened for it to withdraw. But up to 1984, when it was clear that it was not willing to withdraw, it was forced out of the Organization of African Unity until in 2017 when it rejoined the African Union. So our problem with Morocco is not that it is mainly Arabs, no. Arabs are part of the African continent. It must be clear. We always say that ZIPRA, the armed wing of ZAPU, learned the toy toy in Algeria. Zipra then passed the toy toy to MK, Konto Wesizwe, who then perfected it. So a very long history with Arabs in Africa. We'll not talk about the assistance that we got from Algeria, from Libya, from Tunisia, and others. So we don't question the Africanness of our Arab brothers and sisters in the African continent. None of us questions that. The issue is about the occupation of Western Sahara. As we explained again in the previous video, that those then that argue that we should not bring politics into sport, and it is not the soccer players of Morocco who occupied Western Sahara, we should support them. We have no problem with the players, just as we have no problem with the sports people in Russia who are told today that they cannot participate in international sporting tournaments because it is said that Russia occupied Ukraine, and the sports people in Russia must pay for what is perceived as the sins of President Putin and his government. If this is the approach which FIFA embraced, why then should we be accused when we say we are not supporting Morocco? Not because they are not an African country, no. Not because they are Arabs, no. Just because they occupied Western Sahara. And the people of Western Sahara need to be independent like all of us. That's the only thing. So let us then use this World Cup tournament to raise the struggle of the people of Western Sahara, so that when Morocco celebrates its achievement in the World Cup, which all of us were impressed by the manner it has performed in the World Cup, it must do so by withdrawing from Western Sahara. That will be a gift not only to the people of Western Sahara, but a gift to all of us. So people all over the world who are supporting Morocco, celebrating Morocco, let all of us do so, those that celebrate, when it has withdrawn from Western Sahara. And they will call on the Moroccan leadership to say the world is supporting you, but the people of Western Sahara under your occupation, free the people of Western Sahara. Please share your views, comrades. I know that many of you are supporting Morocco against France. And I know again that it's actually this semi-final has divided the continent. There are those that support Morocco on the basis that it is an African country. Then there are those who are supporting France on the basis that the players are black, their roots are in Africa. Some are saying France, the football team, is an African Diaspora Forum, the organization that I belong to. But all the best to the two teams. Please write your comments. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Otherwise, we wish you all the best. Goodbye.